Today's show is sponsored by the Electric Vehicle Association. Join up to support the electrification of transport and get the help you need to finance your own EV or clean energy future. And by Energy Sage. Visit the link in the description to find local verified solar experts, community projects and heat pump specialists in your area. And by Atmos Financial. Bank better with a financial technology company that's powered by a portfolio of clean energy investments. Welcome back to another episode of TEN, Transport Evolved News. Thanks for joining me. We start today's show at the LA Auto Show, where Hyundai has just unveiled its latest electric vehicle, the all-new IONIQ9 three-row SUV, which will go on sale next year. Built on the same eGMP platform that the Kia EV9 is built on, it's similar in size but somehow manages to look like the offspring of an SUV combined with the Volvo station wagon of days gone by. It features a 110 kilowatt-hour battery pack for a claimed 620 kilometres, 385 miles of WLTP test cycle range in its most efficient guise. Single motor and all-wheel drive long-range variants and all-wheel drive performance models will be offered, all with blisteringly quick 350 kilowatt DC fast charging. Pricing has yet to be released, but with a bunch of onboard smarts, a UV sanitizer and second row swivel seats, it will likely be quite expensive. Sticking with the LA Auto Show, the Hyundai IONIQ9's cousin, the EV9, was given its official 2026 revision reveal at the event, and there are some important tweaks. Like the just-revealed IONIQ9, North American EV9s will now come with NACS as standard, and the new model year welcomes the long-promised EV9 GT variant to the family for many markets around the world. This is complete with a 4.3-second sprint time and 374 kilowatts at the wheels. The EV9 GT comes with a virtual gear shifter system as found on other eGMP performance models, an electronic limited slip differential, and for the first time, electronically controlled suspension. We were impressed with the EV9 GT line when we drove it earlier this year and thought it had plenty of power, but if you want more and still want to tow, well, the EV9 GT is now officially on its way to market. Finishing our eGMP-based trio of news, the EV6 also got its official model year refresh at the LA Auto Show with some subtle redesigns, a new battery pack and other tweaks. First, for North American markets, the EV6 will also come with NACS as standard, with Kia moving the NACS charging inlet to the other side of the vehicle to avoid upsetting Tesla owners at superchargers. Globally, there's a new 63 kilowatt-hour standard range battery and an 84 kilowatt-hour battery pack for longer range with up to 319 miles, 513 kilometres of EPA range in their most efficient guise. Built in the US for the North American market, this model year EV6 will be eligible for tax credits as long as they last, and globally the EV6 GT gets some tweaks to its lineup, adding the fake engine noise and gear shifters found in the Hyundai IONIQ5N. After warning that it might delay the launch of its first electric pickup in the form of the Ram 1500 REV, Stellantis has done just that, pushing back the truck's debut until sometime next year. First unveiled in concept form at CES nearly 2 years ago, Stellantis has been promising the Ram 1500 REV would dominate the market and has since unveiled a range-extended variant of the pickup truck called the Ram 1500 RamCharger. While Stellantis has been making noises almost all year about how these will be pushed back if things aren't quite right, analysts in the industry are suggesting the final decision to delay was prompted by the results of the US federal election and likely cancelling of all US tax incentives for EVs. Stellantis says we should now expect the official launch sometime next year. Sticking with bad news for the EV industry, we're off to Europe now, where Ford's European EV production woes have deteriorated further. Last week, I told you that Ford had decided to switch production at its Cologne facility to 1 week on, 1 week off as a result of slowing interest in its just-launched Ford Capri and Ford Explorer EVs. This week, it announced it intends to cut its workforce in Europe by 4,000 employees, with 2,900 of those being based at the the aforementioned production facility. In addition to the layoffs, Ford says it will be executing a short-time working day schedule at the production facility for the first quarter of next year and hopes that it can remove the limitation early next year in order to meet what it predicts will be increased EV demand out of planned EU emissions regulations. Tesla fans often tell us very angrily in the comments that Tesla is the safest car anyone can buy, and based on crash test data alone, that's certainly true in much of the world. But a new study from NHTSA shows Tesla's accident rates, specifically its fatal accident rates, are higher than for any other automaker out there. Not because the vehicles aren't keeping people safe in the event of accidents, but because Tesla drivers are getting into more fatal accidents than average. The reason, according to the report, is distracted driving that seems to play a massive part. What with the massive touchscreen and advertising that refers to features like autopilot full self-driving, ultimately giving customers a false sense of security in their vehicle's capabilities, which in turn leads to poor driver choices and low driver attention. As I have said many times before, full self-driving isn't self-driving. Like all other systems, you need to be ready to take over. Mitsubishi Corporation, which is a separate entity from the car maker Mitsubishi, has announced a $25 million investment in battery swap company Ampol. Historically, battery swapping hasn't been taken that seriously by the auto industry, with Better Place, one of the pioneers of battery swapping, declaring bankruptcy 11 years ago. Even Tesla's planned battery swap program was scuppered after just a few months. But with battery swapping gaining massive traction in China and technology now far more capable than it once was, Ampol's battery swap tech, which can be deployed anywhere, is far more appealing to investors than the bulky and expensive swap stations of days gone by. In the case of Ampol, it's already being used with rideshare fleets in several cities around the world. Daimler Truck has unveiled a new all-electric version of its popular eIntouro motor coach, a near-production-ready prototype called the eIntouro. Designed primarily for interurban routes and tour bus duties, the eIntouro is due to eventually enter into production with a choice of between 50 to 63 seats, depending on the option boxes ticked. When it debuts next year as a production vehicle, it will also be available with a choice of one or two 800-volt LFP battery packs, each offering 207 kilowatt-hours of capacity. In its longest-legged variant, this will translate for up to 500 kilometers, 310 miles of range per charge. Why offer two battery packs? Well, that's partly due to configurability, but it also allows for twin CCS charging, giving each battery pack its own dedicated 300 kilowatt CCS charging station where possible. BYD has just celebrated achieving a world first at celebrating the 10 millionth new energy vehicle to roll off its production line. While it's fair to note that some of these vehicles are plug-in hybrids rather than battery electric ones, with the majority its first few million NEVs being plug-in hybrids rather than battery electric, that balance has shifted in favour of EVs. What's also pretty incredible to note here is the rapid growth for production. It made its 1 millionth new energy vehicle just 3 years ago. That fact suggests that regardless of what other countries may have in mind regarding Chinese-made EV tariffs, BYD now has the capacity and, importantly, the capital to fund massive overseas production facilities, enabling it to continue its meteoric rise in the auto industry. And finally for the segment, we're off to Sweden, where electric hydrofoil boat specialist Candela was celebrating the latest successful round of funding this week. It's closed its Series C funding round this week, and it now has more than $40 million in funding raised this year, and it's on track to expand its production as it aims to decarbonise ferry transit with its hydrofoiling P12. In addition to recently celebrating the start of operations in Stockholm, Sweden, where its ferries have slashed travel times without harming the local marine life, Candela confirmed this week it's completed its first North American sail, where a new service on Lake Tahoe will help transport visitors to the region between north and south points of the lake, speeding up winter access to local ski resorts. Our short shorts are coming in a second, but first a word from today's video sponsor, EnergySage. EnergySage helps homeowners connect with local verified solar installers across the US and now heat pump specialists in select markets who really know their stuff and can help you navigate the process of installing solar panels, help you join a community solar program, or in fact, get a heat pump installed. I used EnergySage when we were looking for installers willing to help us put solar panels on the roof of our home, and our EnergySage verified installers were professional, knowledgeable, and even put us in touch with an amazing credit union that allowed us to finance our solar panels for as low a monthly payment as possible. Follow the links below to sign up for either of EnergySage's free, no-obligation services and get the ball rolling today. And with uncertainty surrounding the future of clean energy credits at the hands of the new Trump administration, if you are in the US, there is no better time to sign up. If you choose to use an EnergySage installer for your project, we will also get a small referral fee, so you'll be helping the channel out too. Help the grid get greener, save money, and support the channel. It's a win-win-win. And now it's time for Short Shorts. As the incoming Trump administration in the US takes aim at EVs, a new report from Bloomberg this week suggests that EV sales are expected to drop by as much as 27% early next year. While demand is expected to slowly increase from that point, it's expected that many models and brands won't survive. Continuing uncertainty has led Northvolt to confirm this week that it's considering applying for bankruptcy protection in the US, as it previously applied for a similar program in Europe. As a consequence of this, Scania, one of its customers, is looking for a new battery supplier for its trucks. Working with the state of Michigan, UPS and Exos, Electrion has announced a new dynamic wireless charging test program that will begin in Detroit shortly. The focus of the project will be to test dynamic wireless charging on UPS-owned, Exos-built electric delivery trucks. Austrian EV specialist Kreisel Electric has signed a new partnership with BASF that will see Kreisel's batteries head to BASF for hydrometallurgical recycling at the end of their life. The partnership is designed to ensure secondary raw battery materials remain in Europe. XPeng is readying its entry into the UK market thanks to a new distribution agreement with International Motors. Eager to cash in on some of the historically high EV company car market segments, its first model to launch early next year in the UK will be the G6 SUV. The parent company of street scooter, Evolution, has filed for insolvency in Germany just a week after it ceased production. The company says it plans on restructuring itself with previously stated goals of producing models in Thailand from next year. The UK government has announced that it intends to stay the course on plans to phase out internal combustion engine sales for private cars from 2030 onwards. The UK auto industry has been lobbying the government very hard to try and change its mind. Webasto has officially commissioned a brand new battery storage facility at its factory in southeast Germany, built using 30 used batteries from commercial EVs to provide excess power from solar panels at the plant, allowing solar-powered operation at night. Tesla's Cybertruck factory wrap service, which has seen its options reduced earlier this year, is now officially no more. While Tesla once offered customers the chance to have their vehicles wrapped before delivery, they'll now have to find their own third-party specialists willing to do it. Complaints against Ola Electric in India have reached such heights that the Indian government is now investigating the company. In total, more than 10,000 customer complaints have been logged with government officials over the way Ola has operated. Mini has confirmed that it's deferring launch plans for North America for the next generation Mini Cooper and Mini Aceman. Mini stopped short of saying if the vehicles will ultimately go on sale there, but it's likely that this decision is, like other recent changes, tied to US election results. NIO published its third quarter financials this week, missing Wall Street expectations thanks to a 2.1% year-over-year drop in revenue. However, thanks to more affordable models, including its brand new sub-brands, deliveries soared 11.6% year-over-year. Honda has unveiled a new production line for solid-state batteries at its Sakura City production facility. While the production line is being called a demonstration production line, Honda says it will start building solid-state batteries for production cars by the second half of this decade. After confusion this week concerning the planned charging inlet for its upcoming CLA EV, Mercedes-Benz has confirmed that in North America, the CLA EV will have 2 charge inlets, one NACS connector for fast charging and one J1772 plug. In more organised markets, it will use CCS Type 2. GMC has announced some tweaks to its Sierra EV Denali for the 2025 model year, giving the massive full-size pickup truck up to 460 miles of range per charge on the EPA test cycle. Those improvements come from tweaks to the motors and power electronics. Jaguar unveiled its rebranding this week with an unusual brand video that doesn't yet disclose much about its first production luxury EV. But nevertheless, the ad got lots of attention online, including from Elon Musk, who mocked its inclusiveness as being woke. Unfortunately for Musk, it in turn appears to have helped Jaguar gain so much more attention. VinFast has officially started US deliveries of its 3-row VF9 electric SUV in the USA. While the VF9 has been available in Vietnam now for 2 years, the model's US debut began with a delivery handover ceremony outside of the company's US headquarters. Bolstered by incredible demand in its home market, Xiaomi has yet again raised its delivery targets for the first year of production for the SU7. While it originally aimed to make 60,000 examples, it predicts it's now ready to make 130,000 of them before year's end. The first onshore wave energy project in the US has been given the official seal of approval by the US Army Corps of Engineers. EcoWave will be installing 8 of its hydraulic-based wave generators at Municipal Pier 1 in the Port of Los Angeles. Genesis has officially unveiled its redesigned GV70 and Electrified GV70 at the LA Auto Show. New for the year, the Electrified GV70 gets a NACS charging inlet on its front grille and tweaked exterior, new matrix lights, as well as a larger 84 kilowatt-hour battery pack. Tesla has made a sizable change to its lease offerings for the Model Y as it tries to increase deliveries before the end of the year. It's dropped the base model lease price for the Model Y by $50 to $299 per month. A new report from the Solar Energy Energies Association is showing that there's been a massive increase in investment from corporate America into solar power. During the first part of this year, more than 40 gigawatts of solar capacity was installed by megacorps. Indian-based concrete company Ultratech Cement has announced that it will dramatically be increasing the size of its electric vehicle delivery fleet. After a successful pilot program with 5 electric trucks, it's committed to expanding the fleet by more than 100. Chinese firm JU has unveiled a new car in the form of the Robo-X. It's a sleek supercar that promises a 1.9-second sprint time wrapped up in styling that reminds me of something that Koenigsegg, Ferrari or McLaren might make. Tesla has said that Nissan Ariya drivers now have access to the supercharger network when using a compatible adapter. While Nissan hasn't confirmed this at the time of the recording and we don't have an Ariya to test, we're guessing an official Nissan statement is incoming. The founder of CATL, which happens to supply batteries to Tesla, has gone on the record to say that he doesn't think Elon Musk knows how to make battery cells, implying in a recent interview that Elon Musk lacks the electrochemical knowledge to understand why the 4680 form factor cell, quote, is going to fail and never be successful, end quote. UK EV charging point supplier Char.gy is celebrating becoming an official B-Corp this week, meaning that it's met the standards required for social and environmental performance, accountability and transparency. He's hoping that more companies follow suit. Hero MotoCorp subsidiary Surge has confirmed that it's looking into launching its recently revealed S32 concept scooter cum auto rickshaw into production by the middle of next year. It transforms from a 2-wheeled scooter into a 3-wheeled auto rickshaw in minutes. It's electric, of course. As it feels the pressure of the aftermath of its battery supplier Proterra going bankrupt, the management at Lion Electric is considering selling the company's assets on. Lion Electric makes a range of electric school buses and commercial vehicles in both Canada and the US. BMW has completed the first stage of a new battery testing facility. The result of more than €100 million of investment, the facility, located at its Wackersdorf facility, will become essential in helping BMW test and develop new EV battery cell chemistries. The US state of California has tweaked its low-carbon credit fuel standard in an effort to continue to lower emissions from transportation. The goal of a 90% reduction by 2045 is still achievable, but fossil fuel companies are already screaming foul. Despite just unveiling its new EV9 GT in LA, Kia is reportedly considering scaling back its EV production in Georgia. Worries about battery pack origins and meeting tech credit eligibility, along with recent election results, are both thought to be playing a part. You can now order a Renault 5 e-Tech Electric in Europe with a smaller capacity battery pack. Called the Urban Range battery pack, the 40 kilowatt-hour pack does knock €5,000 off the price tag, but an even cheaper variant is promised for sometime next year. CATL is considering a new facility in Europe specifically designed to recycle battery packs. At the moment, sources close to the Chinese firm say that negotiations are already underway with multiple potential host nation candidates, including Hungary. Lexus has unveiled a new lower-priced version of its RZ EV for 2025. Powered by a 72.8 kilowatt-hour battery pack, it will offer 266 miles of EPA range from its front-wheel drivetrain and will cost just under $44,000. Capital Metro, a public transit operator in Texas, has announced it will be storing 46 brand new Proterra electric buses at one of its facilities rather than put them on the road. The reason is concerns over getting parts and service from Proterra's new owner, Phoenix Motor. Recycling lithium-ion batteries can be costly and energy-intensive, but researchers at several Chinese universities have jointly published a paper detailing a new way of separating metals using biocompatible acids to leach out constituent materials. BMW has officially begun pre-production testing of its brand new production line for the Neue Klasse X SUV. While the vehicle hasn't even been officially revealed yet, the new production line in Hungary is expected to begin series production of next-gen BMW EVs next year. Stellantis has unveiled a new platform for future vehicles called Stellar Frame. Designed to underpin new models from the brand, it's been built with an EV, a plug-in hybrid and, unfortunately, gasoline variants in mind, and will underpin new models from the automaker soon. And finally, for the shorts, the Attorney General of Nebraska is taking pretty much every major truck manufacturer in the US to court over an alleged conspiracy to phase out medium and heavy-duty internal combustion engine vehicles and replace them with EVs instead. No, I am not joking, just welcome to the new America, folks. Sorry. I'm so sorry. And those will be your shorts. There will be more next week. Our final two stories are next, but first, a quick word from friend of the channel, Atmos Financial. Imagine a bank where your savings not only grow, but also go towards growing a greener world. That's exactly what Atmos Financial does for you. With Atmos, every dollar in your checking and savings account is funding projects that light up lives with solar energy rather than fossil fuels. Atmos is banking that builds a better tomorrow with every swipe of your card today because it's committed to investing 100% into clean, equitable and sustainable progress. There's a competitive savings rate and a mobile app, so your finances and the climate can go hand in hand. It charges no monthly fees and there are no minimums keeping you awake at night. It offers accessible solar loans for those who want to give the fossil fuel industry the ultimate middle finger. By joining Atmos using the link below, you're not only choosing a smarter way to bank, you're planting seeds for a healthier earth. And since every sign-up supports this channel, it also helps us continue to bring you the content you love. I'm personally a customer and I love knowing that I'm helping save money while making sure that money doesn't end up funding the fossil fuel industry. As always, thanks to Atmos for sponsoring the show. And now it's time for those last two stories. Not so long ago, the concept of electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft was something of a pipe dream, something you really only saw in sci-fi. In the last few years, though, fiction has become reality thanks to increasingly efficient batteries and motors, and we've already seen plenty of eVTOL companies execute demonstration flights at various locations around the world. This week, Chinese firm EHang carried out some test flights with a difference, taking off and landing with passengers on board for the very first time. Its tiny EHang 216 is big enough for two people to sit side by side, helicopter style, but what's important to note here is that the flight took place without any pilots on board. Everything was carried out with remote supervision. It's another milestone along the way to commercial electric vertical takeoff and landing operation, but we are still a very long way from truly affordable eVTOL flights. And finally, we have seen a massive increase in anti-EV sentiment of late, fueled in part by political change, but also because of truly sensationalist reporting in the media. And one thing we hear time and time and time again is that EVs are no good in cold weather, will run their batteries out and leave you stranded. But that's something I'm sure the city of Hammerfest in Norway would be super keen to prove incorrect, as its fleet of electric buses head to their second Arctic winter of service. Built by Volvo, the all-electric buses have had to handle snow, rain, wind and ice well north of the Arctic Circle, and yet so far the buses have proven incredibly reliable. Admittedly, the town says there was one instance of the bus running flat, but just like the diesel buses they replace, that appears to have been down to driver error rather than bus error. Here's hoping that he can successfully complete many more winters of operation with nary a problem. And on that note, we are done with today's show. And as always, a massive thank you to the Electric Vehicle Association for sponsoring the channel. They've been advocating for EVs since 1967 and firmly believe that our future depends on us making the switch to clean, green electric cars today. The EVA can help you find someone near to you that can help you make the switch to electric. It can help you become an EV educator, and it can point you in the direction of monthly meetups for like-minded EV fans. Plus, if you become a member, you'll gain access to a clean energy and EV loan program set up between the EVA and the Colorado Clean Energy Credit Union. You can find out more by heading to myeva.org. And thanks to Energy Sage. Follow the link below to find out how easy it can be to get verified, trustworthy solar experts helping you make the step towards energy self-sufficiency using solar on the roof of your home, by joining a community solar project, or by getting a heat pump installed. And thanks to Atmos Financial. Bank better by following that link below. And if you are someone who made your own transportation or energy greener this week, whatever it was and however you did it, congratulations. If you'd like to support the channel directly, please consider supporting us from $1 a month on Patreon, which is about $10.08 a year, or by visiting our swag store. There's a new t-shirt design dropping for December. We're viewer supported because we believe the information we produce should be free to everyone. So if you support, thank you. I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that you really all make this possible. You really do. We'll be back next week as usual with content going out every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. But there's no 10 next week because US Thanksgiving. To finish, remember that you are valid, you are loved, and you have a place in this world. I know this week has been tough for many of us, especially with threatened federal bans that could make existences outside of our homes difficult. In fact, this week in the US, politicians sought to waste their constituents' votes attacking one person rather than dealing with the problems affecting the majority. It is disappointing. It is maddening. But know that their hate is nothing compared to the awesomeness that you are capable of. You are part of the counterculture, and your continued existence makes it harder for hate to thrive. Don't forget that. Until next time, stay safe regardless of your identity or who you love. Be an amazing ally, be kind, be the positive change you want to see in the world, and please, for the sake of everyone's future, don't let hate or ignorance win. Keep evolving.